everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm Matt, Client Success Manager for White House Custom Color, and we are sitting here with the lovely Flo McCall in her studio in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So I want to talk about sales, but not specifically how you sell, but how you've adapted from how you used to sell to now. But let's break that down a little bit. So when we first started talking, your space looked entirely different.
Correct.
Lots of stuff.
Yep.
Cluttery, if I can.
Overwhelming, confusing.
Yep. And I can remember one of our very early conversations, and it could have been at WPPI when we were in Las Vegas. You said, I do not want my clients to have to get up out of their chair to choose what they want. And I think that's really what inspired a lot of this is, okay, now you can, have them sit and you can point around the room. Do you like this one, this, and this, and that? All, different price points, different products, all the things. It's easy for me to say, but you've done it, and you've done it very successfully. So if you were going to describe how you've adapted from, May of 2019, how have you done that? What are some of your main takeaways for people listening today?
Well, let's see. I think the most important thing is, you never obviously are trying to take advantage of your client and sell them things they don't need. And I just kept seeing it over and over again that people would come in and they want to sit here and look at their pictures, and they didn't want to get up and look over here and go in my back room and look in there. And so I was like, okay, I really got to understand what makes it easy for them and comfortable without being too pushy, too time consuming, and too overwhelming. And so the first redesign that we did was great, and obviously it improved my sales, but I found over time that I didn't have maybe the sizes that they needed or the options of material presentation, metallic versus art paper versus canvas versus acrylic. I didn't have enough of that at an easy view. And so when I thought about my second design, I wanted to have it where I found out what my people bought the most, have it really easy for them to see, so they could just look over their shoulder. And I think, I already had one sale last week that it was like instant, great, piece of cake, fluid, I was confident, and I'm like so thrilled that I did the second redesign.
And what was that number, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
It was a very nice number of $36,000, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you hear that? $36,000 in a single sale. High five.
But Matt and I were discussing it could have probably been more if I had a couple more things to add to it.
And we'll talk about that. So if I'm going to read through the lines here, what you just said, merchandising.
Yes.
Take the experience of going into a discount store compared to going down Rodeo Drive and looking in a window.
100%.
You don't have 300 products that people can't even focus on anything because there's just so much to look at. You have choice A, B, C, D, E, F, and maybe G. Choose,
right.
Maybe G. And you've streamlined. That's something that you've been very very strong with your conviction of on the phone and in our text messages and stuff, where you've said, I want to have exactly what I think they should buy in a very small number package, so it's very easy to purchase. So for those of you that have, enjoyed higher end buying experiences, that's how it's done. Mm-hmm. It's very simple, choice A, B, C, not a lot of extras, pay more for this, pay more for this, pay more for this. Your clientele.
Right.
They don't like that.
Right.
They want to say, I want that, or actually, can I have 3?
Right, exactly.
And I think it could be, I'm not going to say the argument could be made, but I think that people listening, there may be some people will say, well, she's in Jackson Hole, different climate where I'm at. But don't die on that hill. I will urge people listening to not use that as an excuse, because you have all different types of clients. Not everybody is independently wealthy.
Right.
So as you are looking at your clientele and thinking about your buying experience, maybe you're getting to the end of your sale and you have run out of products to sell. and you just don't have anything else, but you have that person in front of you that would have invested, heavily, which brings me to our conversation that we were having earlier about another range of products, for your business, and, to always think about what's next. So describe how that kind of came up during that sales presentation, because I think that's a whole nother level of what you're doing right now.
So the sale I had last week was amazing, and she has, an extended family, and her young grandkids were very adorable, and she fell in love with the pictures, and she wanted to make nice, big, great pictures on the wall, and she's like, looked around my studio, and she said, do you have anything brushed? And I'm like, no. And I was like, talk to me a little bit more about what you want. She's like, something like a painting. And if I had a product that was more of an art piece, I know she would have bought it, and for any amount of money, 15, 18, 20,000, money was not a concern for her. And I'm trying to think about my future, because I have streamlined it. I have 4 products that I like to sell from White House. And less is more, in my opinion, in people's homes. They don't need a bunch of stuff, and their lives are filled with kids and events and things. And I want them to pick a beautiful wow image from me. An art piece is what I'm looking for. And so then I thought Matt had kind of informed me about some art pieces that would be really cool to do.
Yeah, totally. And we're in the discussion phase of the portrait canvas line, and doing a combination of a digital painting as well as doing an oil painting over the top, which there are photographers that are doing wonderful with that. So I'm excited to work on that with you. But I think the takeaway on this is, even at a $36,000 sale, which, I think it's pretty much a guarantee anybody listening would, go and do the happy dance down the street after that. There's more. There's a huge another range there, potentially. And, if you're listening from, New York or Florida, California or Arizona or wherever, you have those clients. They are there. And it's just a matter of having the follow through, the client journey, the amazing quality of work, the conversation with them. So don't just listen and say, oh, I can't do that in my town. You can. It can be done. So to get back real quick to recap before we move on here. So your adapt, basically, if I can put it into really simple words, was you took kind of a chaotic environment, made it an extremely streamlined, sent it through the funnel environment of purchasing. So basically, it made your life easier.
Oh, yeah.
It made their life easier. And your business grew by 90% in 2.5 years. So a win, a win, a win, a win, a win, a win, a win. All the things.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So in from my opinion and from White House's opinion, listening to photography educators and people who are out really working in the industry right now, that is the way. Streamlined. Just because we offer 300 products doesn't mean you have to. There's always going to be different ranges of things. So good takeaways there. Simplify, grow the business, make it easy for your clients, know your clients. That's a really important thing. So awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that advice with us. And again, thank you for the last couple of days. It's been wonderful hanging out with you again. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you shortly.